Hi, this is the second of 3 screencasts about using Tumblebooks for our Reading Buddies program. In the first session, you learned how to access and navigate the site. At the end of this lesson, you'll be able to explain how a simple database produces a list of search results, demonstrate how to conduct a search by subject in Tumblebooks, and demonstrate how to add 3 books to your list of favorites in Tumblebooks. In the final session, you'll learn about some of the special features in Tumblebooks. As you learned last time, Tumblebooks is an online collection of ebooks. These are books that combine pictures, sometimes animation, as well as sound. Tumblebooks is also what we call a database, which means that all the information about all the books in the collection is organized in a special way to make it easier for you to find what you need. If I pick a random book, I'm going to scroll down and choose Bink and Golly. You can see the type of information available about that book. You have a summary, which tells about the story, and you have a list of book details, which gives you the author, the word count, the tumble time, the time it takes to read the story, the reading level, and so on. When you conduct a search in Tumblebooks, or in any other database for that matter, you're actually searching through all the details of all the items in the database to find the ones that will best fit your needs. So let's imagine that your buddy, your reading buddy, has told you that he loves sports, and especially hockey. To search for books that will best match his interests, click on the Tumble Search button located at the top of every page, up here. You can see that you can search in many ways. You can search by title, you can search by author, or you can search by subject. To find books about hockey, you'll want to search it by subject. You'll find the green Search by Subject box, and you'll type in your subject. In this case, I'm going to type in hockey. Click on Go and see what comes up. What Tumblebooks does is looks through the titles, the summaries, and the book details of each book in its collection, and it has produced a list of those books that will best match your search for hockey. Now you need to narrow down this long list of possibilities. First, remember that you're looking for storybooks, not informational books. So you need to read through each book's summary to make sure that the book actually tells a story. So here we have Casey and Derek on the ice. If we read the first sentence, after Casey wins the face-off, it's up to Derek to make the tying goal. We can already tell that this is a story about Casey and Derek. So this is not telling us about hockey and facts about hockey, it is an actual story. Next, you're going to want to check the tumble time. Here we have 6 minutes, 15 seconds. That's ideal for sharing with your reading buddy. Anything under 10 minutes will work just fine. Finally, you want to make sure that this book is also going to interest you, because the more you like the book, the more enthusiastic you'll be when reading it with your buddy. When you find a book that could be a good fit for both you and your buddy, you can add it to your list of favorites so that you'll be able to find it again easily. To do this, you're going to click on the blue Add to Favorite button. And now you need to click OK on the pop-up box, and the book has been successfully added to your favorites. You can always check to make sure that your book is there. Click on the Favorites button on the long blue menu bar. And there's your book. You now have one potential book to read to your buddy. However, it's usually not a good idea to just choose the first thing we find. Yes, the book looks good, but there might be an even better one out there. At this point, you'll want to return to your list of search results. Unfortunately, in Tumblebooks, the only real way to do this is to use the back button up here in the top left corner. You may also have to click OK again on a pop-up box. Now you can continue reading through the summaries and details of the other books on the list. You'll want to skip those that say puzzle or read along, as these are not exactly storybooks. Whenever you find a book that seems good, because it's a storybook, it's an appropriate length, and it looks interesting to you, then add it to your favorites list. You'll want to continue looking for books until you have at least 3 books on your list. Remember, these are your favorites, not just the first 3 you found. Once you have 3 books that you're happy with, it's time to make a choice. You'll learn how to do this in the next screencast. So to recap, After completing this lesson, you should now be able to explain how a simple database produces a list of search results, demonstrate how to conduct a search by subject in Tumblebooks, and demonstrate how to add 3 books to your list of favorites in Tumblebooks. If any of these concepts are still unclear, you can always replay this recording. And as always, if you have any questions, please come find me in the library.